Fucking hell. Every single time I get in here, I am like, what the hell's going on? One of the coolest little things is when you get in, the like seat and the steering wheel goes down to like where I've set it. Okay. Okay, guest account. Okay. Okay, we are just playing around in here. Anyway, mind blowing. This might end up just being too wobbly to even see. But this is just like, is this what they call ASMR? When you're just listening to stuff. The fuck was that? The urge to just put my foot down on this bad boy is so extreme. So it's currently Thursday, fuck's sake, when you want to see the date. It's the 4th of September. And on the 7th of September, on Sunday, I am going to be driving to Munich to be there for the next few weeks. I'm going to be there for September. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to update you on kind of like this is like a half-year update. So I did my goals at the beginning of this year on my channel where I was like, this is what I'm trying to achieve. I actually can't remember. I need to review what those goals are specifically, apart from I can remember. So I can remember some of the big goals. So the number one was to get to 2 million in client wins. So in client sales, and we passed that like 2 months ago now, and that's sick. So halfway through the year, and the crew have already crushed it so hard that they've blown past our entire year target. So in the last like 3 weeks alone, we've had three of the crew pass 100K a month. I just had an interview. I did the case study interview with Lewis today, who runs a business coaching business teaching people how to start online PT businesses. He's living in Thailand, French, so he only operates in the French market. He told me today, he didn't even tell me that he hit 100K per month 2 months in a row. So that was kind of like good news. And I was like, how did you not tell me you hit it the other month as well? So Lewis had 2 months in a row. We also had Taryn hit her first 100K month in 2 months ago as well. Or last month, sorry. And then we had Bernard, who I celebrated bringing in the new year with him in the French Alps in Val d'Isère. We were having a lot of fun together, and he hit his first 100K month as well this past month. And I think like one of my biggest lessons from speaking to these guys who have hit 100K months, is just I don't think people understand how much you have to invest in your education to get to that level. So I'll give you some examples. I know for a fact that Bernard and Taryn have invested in multiple mentors to learn about how to operate their business, grow their business, and just get to the point where they're at. It's the same with me. I've invested, close to approaching 100 grand this year into my education. And I think speaking to these guys over the past, few weeks, and just is a nice reminder that like you're never going to get to 100 grand a month if you just think buying one like 2 grand, 3 grand course is going to get you there. It just isn't. Like earning $1 million per year, £1 million per year, €1 million per year. Think about what people have to go through to be able to have the luxury or like the fortune of earning 6 figures in a year. I went to dental school. I went to university for 7 years to be able to have the potential to earn maybe a couple of $100 grand a year. 7 years of university. And in the States, like that can be $500,000 worth of tuition, education together. So it's like the online education space is completely twisted and bent in its awareness of like, okay, what is the investment it's going to take for you to get to this certain level? And most people, their thermometer for how much it's going to take is just too low. So speaking to guys like Lewis today, Taryn the other day, knowing my background and how many mentors I've invested in, most people just haven't invested anywhere near enough into their education. Like Lewis today, he's told me that he's done two bachelor's degrees, a master's in science, and he's got 50 credentials, accreditation that he did whilst he was at university studying sports science to be able to be a coach, to be able to coach people at the highest level. He understands how important having credentials are in his space. And yeah, I think it was a great reminder. It's like, okay, these guys, we operate at this level because we have done the hard work, we've done the education, we understand what we need to do, we've done the skills for long enough. I spoke to a guy in the DMs yesterday who was like, yeah, I'm interested in joining your thing. And he was like, how does it work? And I was like, I could see he was a pretty young guy, and maybe he's watching this, you probably will know who you are. And he kind of like went back and forth with him because I wanted to kind of qualify him. because I couldn't see from his profile that he had any traction with really anything. Had one of those kind of like typical kind of like young dude Instagram profiles where it's just kind of like lifestyle pics. And so turns out he's running like a 20K per month agency. He's like 20, I think like 24 years old or something like that, 23 years old. And he's like, yeah, I'm thinking of I want to get into the info space. And I'm like, okay, like, but you don't have have you got traction with anything yet? Are you, and he's like, no, just like, yeah, I'm just interested in getting into the info space. And I think a lot of young guys, a lot of young people are seeing, some of the big creators in the space talk about getting into the info space and how much easier it is. And it's like, in my opinion, the place to start is you have to be good at delivering on a service. For me, I learned the skills of building communities online, building landing pages, websites, email marketing. Like I did these and I sold them as freelance services for 2 to 3 years. And then worked as a growth partner with big creators before ever even getting close to thinking about starting my own thing, or being in the info space. And I think a lot of people are just like, they just want to jump ahead. They want to skip the hard shit, which is actually being good at a skill. So yeah, if you're thinking about, okay, you've got like an agency, this guy was doing 20 grand a month. And I was like, bro, when I was your age, when I was 24, 25, I was a dentist and I was earning 20 grand a year. 20 grand a year. And I'd done 7 years of university, and you're here being like, and it was a classic example of shiny object syndrome. And it's just like, too many people just want the shortcuts, and they're not willing to put in the years that you need to put in to sharpen your axe. My best friend, my cousin Ben, he was at a golf weekend that I typically go to, and I couldn't go to because it was a clash with my dad's birthday, but typically go with like 30 other guys. We go for a 2-day event where we play a couple of rounds of golf and we get smashed in the evening, and we just have a load of fun. And people obviously asking how I'm doing to my cousin Ben, because they know that we're best friends. And he's like, yeah, Tom's obviously doing pretty well now, but he's like a 10-year overnight success. And I was like, that's fucking cool that my best friend would say that to people, because he's obviously been there the entire time. We used to live around this area in London during COVID, and he first started his business at the same time as me, and he's now got a really thriving coffee business, which is super cool. And yeah, he's like a 10-year overnight success, because he knows all of the late nights that I used to do after work, where I'd lock myself in my bedroom during COVID so that him and my other housemate wouldn't fuck with me, so that I could try and figure out how to build Shopify websites. When I still had a job, I had a full-time, it wasn't even a 9 to 5, it was more of an 8 to 7. But in the couple of hours after work, I'd go and I was learning and doing skills. And then eventually, later on, a couple of years later, I was able to sell those skills of, hey, I can build landing pages, or I can improve your landing page with improving improving the structure, improving the flow. And I think people just want to skip those steps. So speaking to Lewis, speaking to Taryn and Bernard as well, these are people who have put years into their craft and their skills. And now, finally, they've built this thing over like 2, 3, 4 years, where they've compounded the energy that they put into their business to be able to grow it to those levels. But it's taken a shitload of time. And it's going to take you a shitload of time. So I kind of like, if you are already skilled at something, if you already have a skill of some sort, so I'll take me, for example. I was able to build communities and help with some parts of social media marketing. And it was doing those skills that allowed me to pitch for business to creators. I worked as like a growth partner, growth operator with some bigger creators. helped them with sales and marketing because they didn't have a clue, were focused on other stuff. And I was like, I'm going to help these people for a bit and then see what happens. And it's like, I've seen that it's 3 years of consistent persistence and not switching from one offer to another, shiny object syndrome, AI bullshit, fucking, this is the next hot thing, this is the next hot funnel. Just make one shit hot product, figure out who is the number one in your market, and just aim to go and compete. And understand that, like, you're never going to actually compete with them because the people who buy from you might be different people who will buy from your competition or whatever you consider competition. But set the target and aim to get there, and understand that it's like a 3-year journey, and you can get to 100 grand a month in a 3-year journey. So just to give you a bit of an overview, I kind of did the numbers the other day, yesterday. In the last 12 months, it was around, I think we've done 894K in revenue. Haven't done a single sales call for 9 months. Well, actually, it's basically nearly a year now, to be honest. It's actually shit. This summer's flown by, so it's nearly a year since I did my last sales call. It might even, fucking hell, I think it actually might just be a year. Jeez. I thought it was like 9 months. It's been a year. I haven't done a sales call. 894K. Currently, my business, the structure of my business, this year, the big kind of like focus for me. Can we turn right here? I kind of want to take you on a river tour. Yeah, let's go down there. The big focus for me was hiring some really key components for my business. So at the end of last year, in December 2024, it was just me and my Instagram editor. That was it. And so I was like, okay, I need to hire some help for client management right now. So there were some tasks, just some like basic, just admin tasks that I needed help with. So I hired an awesome client concierge called Ed, who used to work for CreatorLaunch, Hormozzi's company. So I was like, that'd be super sick. And he's been working with me ever since. And he helps me with client management and admin. So that was the first hire at the beginning of this year. And I think that we went live during December and onboarded him in January and February, full-time by March. So that put us at, I guess, 3 people. So it was me, my Instagram editor, and Ed. Then the next thing was YouTube. So up until March, I had never used a YouTube editor. I'd never had a video edited on my YouTube channel that I hadn't edited myself. I had edited everything. So I was like, I want to start creating at a high level. The big thing for me was moving into my new, kind of my dream apartment here in London, to be able to have a YouTube studio where I could really easily and rapidly film. And the next thing was then, okay, let's hire an editor. Managed to find an awesome editor, Victor, who helps me. And that was my third hire. Then the next thing was, keep in mind, I don't have an appointment setter. I don't have anyone in my DMs. I still haven't got anyone in my DMs. Still haven't had an appointment setter because I don't do appointments. So if you're going to message me on Instagram asking if I need an appointment setter, no, because I don't have appointments to set for. So no. The next thing then was in April, I wanted to hire an AI and systems specialist for a bunch of special projects that I had wanted to do for my clients. And super cool. It is now September, and we launched a couple of those projects last week. So really, really excited. One was a done for you bonus service. So I saved my clients an extra 20, 30 grand a month. 30 grand a year. Let's cover the ambulance. So I saved them I'd been quoted about 4 months ago by an agency that for them to do YouTube research and ideation for me, to give me 4 ideas, YouTube ideas a month. And these guys were claiming to work with some of the biggest creators out there. I was quoted $3,000 a month to get given 4 ideas, research my niche, get given 4 ideas. And I was like, oh, sick. Obviously, I get the thumbnail with that, right? And they're like, no, we'll give you thumbnail ideas, but you got to make the thumbnails on top. And I was like, okay, you guys are taking the fucking piss. You guys are taking the piss out of me. So I was like, nah, not happening. And then I realized, I was like, I know how to do this. I've been through YouTube accelerators, and I decided I'm going to teach my clients how to do this. And then we've now built a system where we do all of that research for every single one of my clients. Every 2 weeks, they get a fresh list of competitor research, high-performing content from any competitor that they want to take inspiration from, take ideas from, validated content ideas, whether it's on Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube. So we get that, and every 2 weeks, it gets delivered straight into their private Slack channel that they have with me and the team. And that saves them a couple of grand, at least a couple of grand a month, at least $3,000 a month, and about 10 to 15 hours a month of like research and ideation. So that was sick. That was one thing. And then the second was my first ever software. I launched an internal software for my clients that I've been wanting to create for ages, which is an AI-powered insights private performance portal where they can review their data and get AI-powered insights based on our complete database. So we've been gathering data for 1.5 years now, and to tell you how fucking awesome it was to drop this software the other day for my clients, as just, again, another bonus. You know, I know creators out there who would easily charge they would charge their clients an extra $100 a month to use a software. And I've built it as a bonus to help my clients move faster. And we've got some really cool things that we got planned to take it to another level, and make it really hyper valuable for them. So this is very much V1, but super cool to finally launch that product. Then so that was who we hired Sam for. So he's my AI and systems specialist. Really cool and excited that we're now doing 2 AI and systems kind of like workshop sessions a month for the crew in Scale 20, so that they can really understand what's going on at the cutting edge of AI and systems, because I think that's super, super important. So I am fucking stoked about how that's gone. Massive shout out to Sam. He's absolutely fucking crushed it. Had an amazing call with him today to talk about kind of like, these different projects and what we're going to do next. And yeah, it feels like it's very much the start. And, you know, ultimately my mission is to become the number one mentorship accelerator, growth accelerator for business coaches and consultants. Any creator that operates and serves clients in the business niche. Fuck, I've gotten the wrong. How the fuck? Anyway, the number one mentorship accelerator for creators to scale from $10,000 to $100,000 per month, basically getting them from 6 to 7 figures. And as you can see from the past few weeks, we're having some really great success with that. 3 just hitting the 7-figure mark, or the 100K per month mark in just the last few weeks, which is fucking cool. I want at least 5 more this year, and I'm pretty confident we can do that. And oh my god, this is okay. Wrong laneo. Oh Jesus! All right, let's see if we can do this. Rude boy. Oh shit bag. Oh, I'm gonna have to go. All right, well, we're getting a different tour, crossing the river here in London. It's a beautiful evening. Okay, yeah, so business is going absolutely sick. So I guess like the goals for the rest of this year really is to consolidate our delivery process so that we're really, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going into, or the next kind of like 6 weeks, I'm going into a full kind of like monk mode type of situation in Munich to completely redo Scale 20 based on all of the data and insights that we've gathered from the past 18 months. And that to me is super exciting because we have insights and data that, a lot of people don't do. There's so many creators out there who don't fucking track their clients' data. You pieces of shit. You absolute shitbags. You're getting them to pay, you're asking them to pay you thousands and you're not even tracking their data. Fuck you. Some of the biggest in the space as well. How can you call yourself a coach or a consultant and not track your clients' KPIs? You pieces of shit. Anyway, so yeah, that's a big competitive advantage for us, is that we can do that. Right, can we go into Battersea Park? Fuck it. Advanced notification filming. Well, there's usually TV shows and shit getting filmed in here sometimes. I'm always worried about going over speed bumps with the nose of this thing. I scraped the nose the other day going over a bump. It just like bottomed out. I don't even know if this is filming, to be honest. I don't have a monitor. I don't have anything to know if this is this is working. Probably going to look back and see that I didn't even press record. Wow, it's a super beautiful evening though. So we're in Battersea Park right now. This is one of my places where I do my running laps. So if I do my intervals, I'll do essentially it's pretty much a 2K loop. So half a lap is 1K. So if I do my 1K intervals, which I typically do on Tuesdays, then half a lap I know is kind of like 1K, and it's quite good mentally, psychologically, to know that I don't have to run a full lap, which is really nice. I felt like it was close to bottoming out. I've never driven through here. It's the first time I've ever driven through here. Oh, fuck! That sounded close. I better get used to this shit. Oh, Jesus. Okay, lots of people running. All right, well, we're just going to do a fat fucking Yui. Oh, yeah, there's like an evening run going on. Like run club or something. Oh, no, it's just Kinos. Just enthusiasts like myself. So yeah, okay. Well, the rest of this year is really about, frankly, my big goal is make Scale 20 into the undeniable number one. I'm really confident that we're going to do this over the next 2 months, based on the data that we've gathered, and I really know what works and what doesn't work. And I feel like in such a fucking solid position to, really turn this into something next level. One of my biggest drivers was I had a mentor a couple of years ago, and his product was so shit. It was just basically like a rip-off of Sam Ovens consulting.com one. Just reading through Google Docs. And I feel like Sam was the originator of that, like the read through a Google Doc as education, but it's like, fucking put some effort in. Put some fucking effort in. And I would like to, at this point, I doubt he'll watch this, but I would like to shout out Tom Noski, who is one of the rare guys who puts in fuckloads of effort. And so just want to shout him out because hopefully, I'm definitely going to see him in Melbourne in December. So I've got my flights booked to Melbourne. I've got some really cool trips planned at the end of this year. and I've got a bucket list trip. We're doing Australia for the Ashes. Bucket list trip, Australia for the Ashes with my best mates, where we're going to Melbourne for the MCG Boxing Day test to see England versus Australia. We're going to have a lot of beers, and I'm really excited to meet Tom. Actually, no, Tom's going to be coming here to London in October, so I'm going to meet Tom. I'll meet you here in about 2 months, or less than 2 months, like 6 weeks. I think it's 16th of October, you said. So shout out to Tom, because he's one of the good guys who really puts in a fuckload of effort in his products, and he's a legend. So looking forward to sinking some fucking schooners, mate. Oh my god, I'm probably gonna get so many tickets. This thing is like a rocket ship, absolutely sickening. So yeah, just excited to do that. Then I'm going to Thailand for a couple of weeks after New Year with my family. We're going on a cycling trip, and yeah, load of cool trips planned at the end of the year. But yeah, the big thing for me over the next 8 weeks is just turning Scale 20 into the #1 destination for creators, specifically business coaches, business consultants who want to grow to their next 20K per month, or to up to 100K per month, without all the bullshit that you don't like sales calls. Because Lewis, who did, I think he did 100. He told me he did 130K in August, so just this month gone. This is actually so good for driving around the city because it's just like it zips. But yeah, Lewis did 130K, 0 sales calls, confirmed, and yeah, and this is super cool. Right, we are close to Sloane Square, and I'm expecting this camera to tap out, because usually it's about half an hour before the camera with the batteries in overheats on 4K, and I think this is on 4K. So I might just have to pull over and see what happens. Oh, I should have pulled in there. Oh no, can't get through there, so can't. So yeah, we are heading back into the Chelsea and Kensington area, which our boy Iman lives, allegedly. I'm gonna have to, now this was a test run, by the way, of the in-car camera setup. So I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I just wanted to jump in here, see if this works, see if the rig for the camera works, see if the mic, just if any of this shit works, if this looks like shit, if it's even usable, and if I can do this, because my plan is to do more of these types of drives where I just shoot the shit and drive around. The big one, which I want to do, is on Fridays when I go play golf. I won't be able to do that for the next month because I'm going to be away in Munich. But October golf, maybe a bit of winter golf on Fridays, be able to just throw the camera in. It takes an hour to get to the golf course and shoot the shit here, but like actually deliver some value. So this was more of let's call it a screen test. Call it a screen test. I think that's what they call it in the industry. Because I know I've rambled like an absolute madman today. Where should we go? Let's head back home. Fuck it. Okay, right. I think I'm going to pull over and just see if the camera's still rolling. Okay, I'm just going to pull over here. I'm going to curb the shit out of these wheels. I know that for sure. Right. Let's see.